What's up everybody, John from Old Running Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, we are gonna do two things. I'm gonna show you how we started building a second coop by basically just building the platform and repurposing some old braces. And I'm also gonna show me finishing up the first chicken coop that we started to build completely for free. Let's get to work. So right now, it is a wet and dreary, sad, disgusting day. I can't wait for spring, can't wait for summer, as I'm sure all of us can. So I'm gonna do a little rewind and show you some footage that I had done before where I built this platform. And this was made out of the playscape that we used to build the other chicken coop that's over here. And so let's go through that right now, and then I'll catch you up to speed in a little bit. If you spent any time on our channel, you know that we love repurposing, we hate spending money, and we got a lot of chickens. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this other part of the playscape, because if you watch our channel, you'll also know that we're building another chicken coop out of a playscape, and we're gonna turn this into a chicken coop. This is gonna be a much bigger one, but it's gonna be as free as possible. Let's get to it. All right, so this, thank you, Norman. So this is actually a rock wall that went up on the side of the playscape, and it's now going to be the floor. So this is basically going to be half of it. The other half is going to be this tire swing. That's going to be for me. Big guy on a little swing, right? So this is the stairs that went up on the other side of the rock wall. So we're going to take this, and what I'm going to do, basically I'm going to connect the 2 points. So you can see this is the bottom. That's where the stairs met the ground. And so that's the same piece right there. So they're going to be the same width, all of that. So I'm going to take those little legs off, taking these things off. Then we're going to match them up here. I'm going to modify some of the brackets that they have. So I got an angle grinder for Christmas. And so this will be the perfect opportunity to angle grind some of this and make my very own brackets. So anyway, got my impact driver out here. So number one, I'm just gonna remove these. They just got some bolts going through, and I'm gonna set them up and get to work. Easy peasy. Another easy peasy. That one's already out. And then one more right there. Boy, that's... Okay. Here. This one's pretty rotted, so there we go. Gonna do the same thing. Gonna do the same thing on the stairs. So not to show off or anything, but I was able to take apart this whole playscape by myself. Catherine was really busy that day. That was pretty cool. It was a lot of work, but I always get a sense of satisfaction being able to do something by myself. So that was cool. I got an audience over here. Got an audience over there. Stop eating the almond trees! Pebbles! Pebbles! Bad dog. Here we go. Get out of my thing. Alright. So, now we got this. So I'm basically going to use these as the outside legs, because we got them in both places. And just kind of put them together right here. So now I'm going to position them where they're going to go and move from there. Whoops. So I got a real good shot of me moving all that stuff over there. I and then the camera fell. So this is what we got right now. It's gonna be big. But so, it's gonna be strong, because this was enough to, you know, have, I walked up and down these stairs, so I know these are strong. And this is supporting my weight. So I'm confident that this will be able to support the weight of a chicken coop, because I'm gonna be using some of the wood reclaimed from the sawmill that they're not gonna use. Thanks, Rob, appreciate it. So that stuff is generally more heavy than, you know, the cheap pine you get at Home Depot. So it's a little bit heavier, but I think the structure will be able to take it, no problem. Okay, so here's my plan with these brackets. So these were originally intended to hold the stairs and the rock wall at like an angle while anchoring it to a, you know, level post. So basically, I'm just gonna cut off this piece here, here, not quite like that, and then here, so that I have one solid metal bracket just going that way. I'm also gonna need to cut, or I don't need to cut that, I leave those. But so I'm gonna cut it so that basically this becomes one straight bracket. So that's not gonna be like holding everything together. It doesn't need to be super structural. It just needs to be enough to like hold it together a little bit. I'm gonna run one of those really thick 4x6s underneath it to support that brace. I just want something there to hold it together. All right, so I got my lines drawn here. They're not that great, but we will see how it goes. So clearly, I need a clamp. But luckily I got my face shield. Okay, so that was a lot of fun. So yeah, so I mean it worked out. This was my first one, and you can see I should have worn different gloves. So this was the first one I did. It was pretty rough, and then ended up with the last one is pretty good. So basically, you know, these are going to be on either end, just kind of holding the two posts together, and that'll just provide it a little more security, strength. Okay, so I ended up just using one bracket on the outside of each side. Obviously it's not level, and there's still a dip in the middle, but that's fine. We'll figure that part out. The important thing is that it is strong and steady, and it's ready for the next step. Now we're at the point where I'm gonna try to take out these steps from these stairs. So you got some screws on the side, and then those little braces. Should be pretty easy to take out. Platform's all done. You know, we had to fill in with some other wood that I had laying around, and so you can see we got some holes here. We'll fill that in from the bottom, and that should be fine. I mean, there's going to be a layer of bedding on this anyway. We'll make sure that nothing sticks through and can poke our girls' feet or anything like that. But it's looking pretty good. You know, level, nice, solid. This will be a nice, long chicken coop. That is for sure. So, yeah. So I forget if I've mentioned this already. So we're building this coop for our silkies that are coming in February. It's going to be a nice coop. We have 30 chickens coming. We're also building another coop that's going to be for our silked Easter eggers, which are basically, they're like silkies, but they're full-size chickens and they're Easter eggers. So that should be fun. We're going to try to breed them as well, and hopefully they'll come out nice. So right now I'm just hanging out with Norman and his ladies. So that's Norman, our rooster, right there, and I've been dying to do this. This chicken right here is an Appenzeller Spitzhauben. So if you ever wondered what Norman plus Appenzeller Spitzhauben looks like, that's it right there. So that's Fajita's baby. So you can check it out. She's got a crazy comb and beautiful frizzled feathers. Nice little hat and great coloring. So you can see she's a little bit different than Fajita. Fajita's like really a straight white and black. She's got more brown in her feathers, but she is very nice. We love having Norman around because he gives us some frizzled babies, which is cool. So you can see like that one right there. Yum, 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 yum. Frizzles are so cool. We're also right now starting to incubate some of our other rooster, Jeffrey's eggs. And he is a buff-laced Polish chicken. And then we got Morans and Welsumers and either silver-laced Wyandottes or speckled Sussex chickens. I can't remember which. Okay, so now we are back. Now we are back to this coop. And so what I'm gonna need to do is enclose this front end. So before I do that, I'm just gonna go through, and if you watched our free wood video, you'll see that I told you I was gonna get like little fillers to fill in all these little gaps where you can see sunlight to make it less drafty. So I'm gonna do that first while I have this big entrance here so that I can fit in it. Because once I seal that front end up, I'm not gonna be able to get my big butt in there anymore, so I'm gonna do that first. But then after that, we need to figure out a way to allow the chickens to come in here, but also allow them to get locked up at night. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna use the round top cuts to seal this in. I'm gonna leave an opening here, and then I'm gonna use a string and some eye hooks to give me a door that I can lift up and then tie off to let them out in the morning, and then untie and have it go down at night. Because what we're also gonna do is we're gonna have a little chicken tunnel that will connect this coop to this run, because this run was already pre-existing and we built this bridge that connects into our run over here. Our thought was we'd give these chickens some more room, but as you can see, they hardly use it. So we'll just block it off up there and then give our other chickens this whole space. So right now I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna cut some strips of the little filler pieces, and then I'm just gonna start filling them in. All right, so pretty much set. So you can see there's a lot, almost fell. There's a lot fewer air holes. Actually, maybe I need to go right up there. But like, it's nice and filled in over here. I can actually even feel a difference being in here. It is much warmer in here now, actually. Even with just that little bit of work, it made a big difference. So I'm just gonna fill in these top slots right here. And I actually was able to use the bark and just kind of use it almost like insulation, sort of, to just kind of fill in those holes. And I have a feeling that the chickens will find all of this bark plenty fun to peck at, and will eventually need to replace a lot of it, but that's okay, because this is just getting this set for right now. It is now the next day, Sunday, and it's much sunnier out, which is nice. Still a little chilly. So here's where we're at. So I got the door hole here. It's about 2 feet wide and 3 feet tall. So I think I'm gonna do a 2 foot wide door that's 18 inches high, so that when I slide it up, it'll close off that part and leave 18 inches down below open. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up guides on the outside here and the inside there so that the door stays, within the frame. And I'm still kind of figuring out how that's actually gonna work, but got enough wood here, got screws, saws, and drill, so let's get to it. All right, so this is what I'm gonna use for the runners, I'll call them. And so I'll have this bark piece pointed inwards, so it'll bring a little bit of the feel of the bark there. So this way, the door will sit behind here, and I'll have one of these pieces on the inside and the outside, so it's like a little channel that the door can go up and down through. Hopefully that wasn't too inappropriate. Let's get to it. So I realized after I set this up that I'll have to take these front ones off, so I just wanted to show you before I did that. So here's the channel that I was talking about, so that I make the door, just wide enough to fit in there, and then that way, it won't fall out. So it'll stay in that channel going up and down. So I'm pretty happy with how this is coming out so far, especially because it was free. So now I'm going to build the door, which is just going to be a couple small pieces of wood stitched together, and see if I can figure out this whole system. So we'll keep going. Okay, so we are just about ready to set up the door. So you can see, this is what it looks like here. So I took 3 pieces of wood, stitched them together with those pieces of wood. I also added some roosting bars, and I enclosed the nesting boxes a little bit. We'll throw some caulk or something in there to block everything else out, probably on the outside. So anyway, so this door sits right in there, and then when these are all screwed in, it's just a nice little channel for this to go up and down. So next, I'm gonna screw these back in, and then I'm gonna add an eye here, and then I'm gonna figure out the system, which is probably gonna be like a little eye right here to guide the string, and then it's gonna come around and out, and then I'll have something to tie it off right there. So I'm also using baling twine, which is really handy. This is from the hay bales that we get for our alpacas. So once again, just trying to reuse whatever we can. So I'm gonna screw that in, set up the door, and get going. One important thing, I almost did all of this before I did the interior things. Fitting my big self in there would have been a real pain in the neck. I think ideally I would have set up the interior before I even put on this front wall, but it ended up working out fine. I made a big enough door so that I can still fit in there. So, you know, if it comes down to it and we need to get in there for whatever reason, I can just take these two little channel guides out, remove this door, and I'll be able to get in there no problem. Something to keep in mind if you're building a coop yourself. Let's get to work. All right, first of all, apologize for any wind noises. The wind has picked up tremendously. Coop is done. So we have the entrance all taken care of. It is not pretty, but it is secured. They got a little tunnel going in there. Camera battery's gonna die, that's why I'm talking kind of fast. So I have this, you know, these three like shingles basically, so that when the door is pulled up, it's secured, and this way there's no drafts. So the one thing that I forgot, which is kind of important, is to put a human-sized door in, because now we can't clean it. So luckily these are all just screwed in, so you know, next weekend maybe I'll unscrew these and set up a human-sized door in there, but right now it's gonna work for getting our chicks outside. So you can see I go in here. So this is the setup. Ooh, it's nice and warm in there. That's nice. So we have 2 heat lamps in there right now, just to make sure that they're nice and warm. So, and we're gonna leave the door shut for now. But I'll just show you basically how it works. So I have, you can't actually see it. Maybe if I go down here. Yeah, so the door is, it's got a little eye hook there that follows the baling twine up through here. So I can just pull this string, and there's the door. Then I got this heavy duty bracket right here so that we can just clip it on there. Door is held open. And that is plenty strong. The door's really light, so that'll be fine. And then I made sure to put enough slack in it. Easy peasy. So that is great. This might need some reinforcing. You know, we'll see. I think it'll be fine. We're only gonna open and close this once a day. And especially for the first few days at least, we'll keep them in the coop only, just because it's cold. You know, they're old enough to be outside, but we want to make sure that they're happy and warm. So we'll put their food and stuff on the inside, and go from there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. If you're looking for more chicken videos, you can check out our channel. We put out videos on Mondays and Fridays. We go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to subscribe, give us a like, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Thanks for stopping by.